A portion of this video was sponsored by Casetify. The iPhone 13 mini is truly an iPhone that's the last of its kind. After this year, Apple will no longer be continuing the iPhone 13 mini lineup for a variety of reasons. And it's a shame really, because this is one of my favorite iPhones of all time.
I've been feeling so small. Watch the clock ticking off the wall. But tonight I'm letting it go. Spend my coin for sure.
How's it going everyone? My name is RJ and this, my friends, is the iPhone 13 mini. And in this video, we're going to discuss my honest thoughts on the iPhone 13 mini after 3 months of daily use. I'm coming to the iPhone 13 mini from the iPhone 12 mini, and initially I was on the fence about upgrading this year because quite honestly on paper, this upgrade doesn't seem worth it. But the more that I looked into it and the more that I used my 13 mini, I began to realize that this upgrade was more than worth it and I would do it again 100 times over. So what is it about the iPhone 13 mini that makes it such an enticing device? And what are some things I don't necessarily like about the iPhone 13 mini after 3 months of usage? This is why I love doing long-term reviews on my channel. It gives me a chance to use the device like how a real-life consumer would and report back to you guys, my audience, on what I really think about this device after 90+ days of use. Let's start off by talking about what everyone wants to know about, the battery life. How has the battery life held up on this miniature device after 3 months of use? If you go into settings and you take a look at my battery health, it's still sitting at 100%, which is actually quite impressive given my usage. This year, Apple changed up the chassis of the iPhone 13 mini by making the body ever so slightly thicker. This in turn enabled Apple to equip the iPhone 13 mini with a bigger 1830 mAh battery, and the improvement on battery life was almost immediately noticeable on the first day alone. I was getting around an hour and a half more of screen on time compared to my iPhone 12 mini, which I don't know about you guys, but to me an hour and a half more of screen on time is a night and day difference. This hour and a half more of screen on time allowed me to comfortably use my iPhone 13 mini throughout the day without battery anxiety being a thing. But the thing is, over time though, after about 2 months of usage, I began to see a dip in my screen on time. Now, I'm not exactly sure what this could be attributed to because my usage hasn't changed that much whatsoever. I still use my phone casually throughout the day. I usually check up on emails, scroll through Instagram and TikTok, play a few games, trade a few stocks, stake some crypto, capture a few shots here and there, just the usual, nothing too battery intensive. And I end my day with around 11 to 15% battery life and 5.5 hours of screen on time, which if we are being honest isn't all that great and down approximately an hour of screen on time from the previous 2 months. This in turn has led me to do 2 things. Number 1, I went out and got myself a MagSafe battery bank. This one is made by a company called Benks and it's a 5000 mAh battery bank that attaches to the back of your iPhone 13 mini via magnets. This battery bank alone can charge your iPhone 13 mini from 0 to 100% about 2.5 times, which is more than enough to get you through an entire days of use. What in particular I like about this battery bank that sets it apart from others I've used in the past is that it has a very thin form factor and a nice silicone finish that feels very nice to the touch. I carry all of my tech essentials in this Nike Fanny pack, and this battery by Benks is the perfect addition because it doesn't take up too much space at all and I can still use my iPhone 13 mini comfortably without the need for 2 hands. I've already made a dedicated video on this Benks battery bank. If you guys do want to check that out, it will be linked for you guys in the description below, along with the dedicated link where you guys can go and buy this if you are interested. I do highly recommend it for the iPhone 13 mini. It is truly a lifesaver. The second thing I did was grab a crush case from our channel sponsor Casetify, and don't worry, I got you guys with a 15% discount code. Let's not kid ourselves here, the iPhone 13 mini is an expensive iPhone and you guys want to give it the best protection possible, all while rocking a good looking case. And that is where I highly recommend a crush case. Now, crush cases are unique. They're made up of 65% recycled plant and recycled plant-based materials. They provide up to 6.6 feet of drop protection and they do feature something called Defensify, which is an antimicrobial coating that eliminates 99% of bacteria. Super clutch during a pandemic, trust me, I know. Casetify calls these cases crush cases because they are made from upcycled phone cases which give new life to post-consumer waste. I think it's a very smart initiative that goes a long way in reducing our overall carbon footprint. There are a ton of crush cases you guys can choose from. The options are literally endless, so it may take you guys a while to choose. If you are interested in picking up crush cases for your iPhone 13 mini, there is a link in the description below, and with every purchase you will get a 15% discount. So yeah, in my opinion, a MagSafe battery bank and a Casetify crush case are must-haves if you are an iPhone 13 mini owner. Because quite honestly, you just never know when you're going to have a long, unexpected day, and you don't want to be left with a dead iPhone 13 mini. Trust me, I know, I've been there, and I had to walk 13 kilometers in negative temperatures just to get home because my iPhone 13 mini was dead and I couldn't call an Uber. So you don't want to be me, you don't want to be that guy, trust me. So what about the size of the device and the form factor? Do I ever regret not having gone with a bigger screen size like the iPhone 13 Pro or the iPhone 13 Pro Max? First of all, I would never go with a Max iPhone. I think Max iPhones are one of the worst designed phones I've ever used in quite a long time, simply because it's too heavy to use for an extended period of time, and the width of the iPhone 13 Pro Max is just far too wide to comfortably get a grip on the device. However, I do admit I have thought about the regular iPhone 13 and the iPhone 13 Pro on more than one occasion actually, and I'm not sure why, but I do feel guilty about it. It's kind of like I'm cheating on my spouse, but I'm cheating on my phone. I promised my iPhone 13 mini I wouldn't think about other iPhones, but here we are. All joking aside, I've grown to really love the size of this device. It's the perfect one-handed device for all scenarios, whether that be shooting a quick text to family or friends, or quickly capturing a moment you don't want to miss on the camera. This phone is unique for all scenarios just because of its 5.4-inch form factor. With the iPhone 13 mini, I always find myself with one hand available to carry or do whatever I want, and that freedom to me is just worth daily driving the iPhone 13 mini. I do, however, consume a lot of media on my smartphone. I watch a ton of YouTube, Netflix, Hulu, whatever it may be. I love consuming content on my phone. Admittedly, during the initial adjustment process, watching content on a smaller screen was a bit tough. I thought I made a mistake going with the smallest iPhone available, but over time though, my brain began to adapt to the 5.4-inch display, and that sort of became the norm. And to me, that's what makes us as humans so unique. We're able to adapt to any given situation with time. So nowadays, I love having a smaller screen size. It's not too small where I have a hard time reading text on the display, but at the same time, it's not too big where I need to use two hands to consume content for long durations. It's a bit sad that Apple is doing away with the iPhone mini lineup due to poor sales, but hopefully sometime down the line they do realize it's a mistake and they bring back the iPhone mini series. But you know what makes the iPhone 13 mini so unique? It's not the size, it's not the performance, but the combination of the two that sets the iPhone 13 mini apart from other small devices. Like, take a second to think about it. This is hands down the most powerful 5.4-inch smartphone on the planet, and that's thanks to Apple's A15 Bionic processor. There is virtually no application out there that this phone cannot handle. I even tried editing 4K raw footage using LumaFusion, and the mini didn't even get remotely hot. It's kind of crazy that Apple was able to pack all of this performance in such a small form factor. Even after all these months, the iPhone 13 mini is able to hold its own against any phone on the market. You aren't missing out on much of anything with this phone. Even in the camera department, you get a wide and an ultra wide angle lens that's capable of some very nice shots. It's no secret that iPhones are the king of smartphone videography, so I would argue that this is the best vlogging phone you can currently buy. All you really need is a solid microphone attachment and you are good to do daily vlogs. If you guys want to see a more in-depth review on the cameras, then do make sure to check out my iPhone 13 mini review, linked in the description below. Quite honestly, the iPhone 13 mini is the perfect iPhone in my opinion. You really aren't giving up much of anything with this iPhone. Its form factor alone makes it worth the purchase for daily use. And then you top it off with the incredible performance, decent battery life, and formidable cameras, and you are looking at one of the best iPhones money can buy. If you guys appreciated this long-term review, then do me a huge favor, subscribe to the channel for a lot more iPhone 13 mini content. We are on our way to 20k subscribers, so your support will be greatly appreciated. As always, thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to flex with your tech.